What's up guys, Rick here, back again with another video with Adventure Outline. Guys, as you know, I bought a CVT rooftop tent a while back, and so this video is basically the installation of the rack system on the truck. I planned on totally going with something different. When it came to the bed rack, I was planning on actually going with a front runner system. And I was ready to purchase it and everything, and basically what it came down to is they didn't have all the parts in stock, and they were saying it could take anywhere from 1 to 3 weeks to get them in. And my tent was arriving, and I had trips planned, so I couldn't wait for front runner, and which is really disappointing because I really wanted their system. One of my buddies has their system already installed. You guys have actually seen that in a previous video of our camp shoot video that we did last year. He had that installed on his Diamondback with his rooftop tent, and I really love that system, and I know other people on the internet have used that system as well. And so I wanted to go with that, but at the end of the day, Front Runner didn't have everything in stock, and so I had to go with something else. It's definitely not a Front Runner quality, but it's what I'm going to use for now, and maybe eventually I'll upgrade to Front Runner or something else from another manufacturer. I got this roof rack system off of Amazon after doing a ton of research. It was the best one that I could find that would get here in a reasonable time for me to go on my trip. So that's what's up guys, so let's get to the installation. So here's the bed rack system that I purchased on Amazon. It's from AA Productions Inc. I think that's how you say them. And so they have a 600-pound rating, and the tent's coming in right around 200. And so I think we should be good with that. And then, so these here are the rails. I bought the 60-inch rails because I don't want them to stick out past the bed of my truck. I really didn't want that. I really want to streamline the system as much as I can to stay with the body lines of the truck. Here are the actual mounts, guys, and they're actually pretty big, and I'm really excited about that. They're bigger than I thought they were going to be. So the rack from here to here, I believe, is 6 inches, 6 or 7 inches. So it's pretty big. Here's the back of it. So the leg itself is pretty big and pretty beefy. It does have these gussets dented inside, each 2 on the top and then 3 on the bottom, so I think that should really help with the rigidity of it. Yeah, so guys, this is going to be a simple install, but we're basically going to bolt this right through the Diamondback. I just have to figure out exactly where I want it, and because I measure twice, drill once. Okay, so that's the plan, guys. So guys, in your hardware you're going to find these T-bolts that are basically going to slide. They're basically going to slide right into this here, and you're going to slide 2 of these in. So you'll slide 2 of them in just like this here, and then once you get those in, go ahead and grab your leg bracket, and there's 2 holes right there. You just need to line them up. All this stuff is super self-explanatory, guys. It's not that hard. Once you get them lined up, just pop them in like that. Just pop them in just like that, and then put your washer on and your nut, and you'll be good to go. These are 13 millimeter, so grab your socket and just start tightening them down a little bit, but not all the way. This way you can get the nut tight down most of the way, and then put it at the exact location that you want to have the bracket, and then tighten it down the rest of the way. Alright guys, so that's one side It's nice and snug on there, looking good. So basically you're going to do that to all 4 corners, and it's the same exact process on all 4 corners. Again, guys, I only went to on 1.5 inches on here because that's where I wanted it to be, and I'll show you why in a little bit. But you can put it wherever you want. Just what I would encourage you to do is just make sure, again, you measure twice and drill once, because once you put holes in your Diamondback, there's no turning back. So do this to all 4 corners, and then you'll go on to the next step. So one thing I had to do was actually move these in a little bit because the tent is actually farther in than I expected, and I wanted to distribute the weight a little bit better. So before they were I believe 1.5 inches wide. I've moved everything to 6 inches right here. So from this edge to here is about 6 inches, and then same thing on the other side. From here to here is about 6 inches. What I've done is I've actually marked the holes. I've measured multiple times right here on the Diamondback, because once I drill the first hole, there's no turning back. So I basically lined everything up, measured it multiple times with the actual rack itself. Then I marked it with a marker, and then I put tape by it, so just so I could see them a little bit better. But we're going to get to drilling and get this first one locked in, and then we'll start measuring and locking in the second one. Alright guys, so I've got the holes drilled and everything's lining up. Bolts fit perfectly. I wanted it really snug. They got a little bit of play in them, but for the most part pretty snug, because I want to still make sure that this is as watertight as possible. There are these foam pieces right here that I'll be putting on underneath here. That way, when I put it on here, it kind of watertights it a little bit better, and also keeps it from scratching the Diamondback, because I don't plan on keeping these on all the time. I do plan on taking them off when I'm not using the tent, and then just covering them back up with the bolts. I'll just leave the bolts in like this. And what I'm going to probably end up doing is actually either getting some black hardware that's powder coated, or I'll just, but honestly, I'll just probably grab some of my black paint in my shop and just paint those black so they match. And that's the plan right now. So let's install this one right now, and then I'm going to start working on the front one. So I have the nuts and bolts on that side, so I'm going to put them in on this side over here, so you guys can see that. So just popping a washer on each one, and then punching it through the little rubber thing that comes with the here. And so it comes with this little black plate here that's going to go on the under here, on the under part of the Diamondback. Definitely use this, guys. That way not all the stress is just on the bolts. And this is going to kind of help even out the tension when this thing might be shifting at all. Cool. So they're on, so just tighten those down, and then this thing's going to be ready to go. Then we'll head over to the other one. Alright guys, so right now I just finished drilling the holes and bolting this side on. Well, I haven't bolted it on yet. I'm going to bolt it in right now, and then once I do that, we should be good to go to put the tent on. Alright guys, so I just finished installing the bed rack. Looks great. I'm actually really happy with the way these things look. Super stoked. Only time will tell whether or not it was a good buy or not. I would definitely recommend getting the steel brackets and everything rather than the aluminum ones, but you know, I just wasn't willing to wait a few weeks to get them, and so that's why I went with this. I think they'll hold up, but we'll see over time. And honestly, I'm probably ultimately going to go with the front runner system anyways, so I'm not too worried about it. And I made sure that I lined up the holes exactly where I wanted them, so even if I install the front runner later, the two holes that I drilled should line up with the ones that they have on their system as well. So these are installed. I think it should be good. And now we're going to get to installing the tent.